What up? What a great weekend. It's been a good weekend. Today's the anniversary of my mother passing back in 2013. And, you would think that all this time had passed and I'd be over and done with it. But the reality of it is I've never really processed that week leading up to her dying. I mean, when I got a year clean, I said goodbye. And then when I had 2 years clean, I just played a song. And then I didn't have any clean time. And I never really processed the event. Ever. For those years that gone by, I just got loaded. And that's not a good way to process anything. You don't process, you just, put in the closet when you do that. And so the last couple of weeks I've been processing it on top of other things, but specifically this, I've been processing each day. It's almost like, because I can remember each day how it went. I can remember it vividly. Even though I was getting drunk, I could still remember what the elevator looked like, what it was like to find parking, what it was like walking to the hospital, like all of it. It comes back. It's there if I want it to be there. And so I have been just processing that time period. And the reason I can do it is because I'm clean now. I've got 8 months and 13 days clean. And I can process a lot of things better. Of course, as time progresses and I stay clean, I'll be able to process even better. But I've been able to process it healthy. I've been able to write about it. I've been able to do these videos about it. And I think processing for me is doing these videos, is doing my video journal on my YouTube, is sharing about it in the rooms that I go into, talking about it with my sponsor, talking about it with, just constantly talking about it. Some people don't want to do that. They're like, I don't want to talk about it. I want to discuss it. I didn't either. And years and years and years passed by. And now here I sit, well over 10 years. And still processing it, right? And so yesterday, I shared about this in my video journal. But yesterday, and I woke up at 4 a.m. and I told myself what I'll do is I will isolate, so I'll stay home, and I'll just, cry all day, and I'll watch movies that reminded me of her, and I'll listen to music, and that would be my way of processing it. And then something clicked. I woke up at 6 a.m. yesterday, and the voice in my head, this has been happening since I've gotten clean. Something pops in my head. It's my own voice, of course, but it's a voice of reason, or it's my higher power. Sometimes it's my mom. Sometimes it's, I don't know. But it popped in my head and said, you're not going to do any of that. You're going to make today a day where you don't sulk. And you're going to make today a day where you do good things. I helped somebody out. I helped a stranger. I went to church. I went to the gym. I took the kids out. I went and saw their grandmas, and we gave them a card, and they picked out snacks for them, and they looked really happy to see them. I did those kind of things, and then I went to a meeting and I shared about it, and then I did a video. That was my way of processing it and saying goodbye to that particular time period. I had a counselor one time tell me that in order for me to get better, I had to make up with my younger kids. And I didn't understand what he meant by that until he explained your 12-year-old self, your 8-year-old self, your 16-year-old self, make up with those. Because there's some time periods in my past that were all fucked up. And I had to rebuild those relationships. So I don't hate myself today. So I don't sit back and wonder why I didn't stick up for myself when I got jumped when I was freaking, 11. Why didn't I fight back a little harder or something? And instead, what I did is I said, "Hey, man, you were surrounded by a lot of people. You didn't do anything wrong." And so I processed yesterday amazingly for myself. You know, some people will do other things, you know, an adventure or something like that. To me, that was my little memorial while I'm clean as I continue to go. Next year, I'll go play bingo for her. I wanted to do that yesterday, but I thought about it yesterday. Improper planning. But that's okay. I have a goal. And then I can just put that on my body too, a little bingo card. But yeah, and then today is the actual day. Today I would have gotten the news. I would have been out here, and then I would have been planning my next trip out there. I would have went to work. They would have told me, "What are you doing here?" And I would have said, I need to work. And they would have said, "You're not going to. It fucking sucks." And I would have broke down, or I did. I'll never forget him saying that. It's the only time I ever broke down at work. But today was great. And then I was asked a question in my class. I just came back from class about a suggestion of, what if you don't like what your sponsor has to tell you? And I was able to give that answer in the best way I possibly can. If you have a sponsor that tells you everything you want to hear, and they don't call you out on your shit, you probably don't have the right sponsor. Just a suggestion. I need my sponsor to stop me mid-sentence and say, "Yo, that's not what I'm hearing. And here's what the fuck I'm hearing." And it was cool because there was some people from the classes that I just graduated from that were up there. You know, they got days clean. They're coming and we all got months clean, and I got to share a little bit of my recovery in there. A little bit about how I'm processing things. And so today's been a great day. It's been a great day. Cleaned a little. I'm going to clean some more. I'm going to make dinner. I'm going to read a book to the littles. I'm going to get their clothes folded. And then I'll probably end up finishing it off with my nighttime meditation that I've been doing. Everybody has a different form of meditation. Mine is the gym. I realize that now. It's my quiet place. I'm not talking to anybody. I'm not doing these videos. I'm not in a room of recovery. I'm not at church. I'm not at work. I'm not at home around these kids. I'm by myself in my own little world. There might be people around, but I'm in my own little world, and it gives me the opportunity to think, even if the music's playing. And I understand that meditation is quiet time. So I'll work on that. But for right now, this is doing me justice. It's doing me good. And if my life becomes unmanageable from it, we'll see. I'll venture into that. But right now, it's helping. It's another facet to my recovery. And I really enjoy it. And so, yeah, the shit works, man. 8 months and 13 days. Tomorrow I'll have 8 months and 2 weeks, and that 2 week marker is a big deal for me when I say 2 weeks, because there was a time I yelled at myself in the fucking car, looking in the mirror, saying, "You can't get fucking 2 weeks." And then I had 15 days, and that marked a very big significance in my story. And so whatever I'm doing is working for me right now. It may not be the thing I need to do months from now, but there are some things I'm going to have to do for the rest of my life. And I'm okay with that. I really like how things are going for me. I really like how I'm getting through tough times as well. And my personal development is constant, continuous improvement. Kaizen. The company I work for, that's their motto, Kaizen. And so, yeah, I'm pretty happy with my development, and I'm pretty happy with where I'm at today. And so, if you're not sure, give it a shot. Go walk into one of those rooms. Don't even say a thing. Just listen. You might want to go back in tomorrow. You never know. But if you haven't heard it today, I love you. You're wanted, needed, and loved, and you have what it takes. You got this. You got this.